Collins English for Exams. Get ready for Ielts. Listening. Copyright HarperCollins Publishers, 2012. CD 1. Track 1.
Good morning. Hi Flyers. Can I help you?
Hello, Margaret. This is Dave. I'm at the airport and I want to check the flights of the passengers I'm meeting.
Oh, okay, Dave. Go ahead.
Right. The Spanish flight arrived at 4:50 and flight 1550 from China arrived at 6. The 650 from the Emirates has been delayed. That's flight UAE 1880. But the Lisbon flight's already landed at gate 16. Is that all of them? And do you have any news about the Paris flight? Track 2.
Hello?
Hello, is that Ali?
Yes. Who's calling?
Hi, Ali. It's me, Sam.
Hey, Sam. How are you? When are you arriving?
I'm fine. Really looking forward to seeing you. I've booked my flight for Wednesday morning, arriving at 6:50 in the evening.
Great. That's Wednesday, the 6th of July. And what airline are you flying on?
British Airways. Flight number BA 3025.
BA 1325?
No, 3025. 3025.
Ah, okay. And it gets in at 6:15, right?
No, at 6:50. 10 to 7?
Right. Sorry, this line's not very good. So you'll be on flight BA 3025 on Wednesday the 6th, arriving at 6:50 p.m.
That's right.
Good. Well, don't worry. I'll be there to meet you at the airport. We're going to have a fantastic time. I can show you all around.
Track 3. 18. 13. 80. 40. 15. Track 4. 1. The youngest passenger is sitting in seat 14, by the window. 2.
There are 40 passengers in first class.
3.
There should be 50 people on the bus.
4.
Her plane arrives at 16:15.
5.
Our train leaves at 17:30.
Track 5. Good evening. Fine dining. Can I help you?
Hello, yes. I'd like to book a table for 4 on Friday evening at 8 p.m.
Yes, sir. And the name is?
McEwan. M-C-E-W-A-N.
M-C-E-W-A-N. Is that right, sir?
Yes, that's right.
That's booked for you, sir. 4 people on Friday night at 8 o'clock. Track 6.
Where to, madam?
Westbourne Grove, please.
Westerbourne Grove. In the city centre?
No, Westbourne, near the park. Sorry, I haven't got the postcode.
No problem. How do you spell it?
WESTBOURNE.
Track 7.
Good morning. Taxis for you. How can I help you?
Good morning. I'd like to book a taxi to the airport, please.
Right. And which airport is that?
London Heathrow.
That's fine. And when do you need the taxi for?
My flight leaves from Terminal 5 at 7:20 on Wednesday, the 6th of July, next week.
Wednesday the 6th at 7:20 a.m. So you'll need the taxi at 3:30, okay? Can I have your name, please?
Sam Williams.
And your address?
60 Willowside Bank, Abingdon. That's Abingdon.
Thank you. And the postcode is?
OX14 3HB.
OX14 3HB. And can I have a contact number for you?
Yes, of course. My mobile is 07789 612 744.
Thank you. 07789 612 744. Now, we'll be picking you up at 3:30. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Track 8.
Have you filled in your landing card?
No, sorry. I'm having a few problems.
Can I help you at all?
Yes, please.
Well, the first question's very easy. What's your family name?
My family name is Liu. Liu.
And your first name?
Well, my English name is Grace, but my Chinese name is Hua Fang. Which one should I put here?
Which name do you have in your passport?
Hua Fang. Hua and Fang.
So you should put that one. And your date of birth?
Shall I put the day first or the month?
See where it says DDMM and YYYY?
Yes. What does that mean?
It means date, month and year.
Oh, okay. So I put 17/12/1994.
The 17th of December 1994?
Yes, that's right. And what address is this?
That would be where you are staying in the UK.
Okay. Let me see. 13 Park Road, Brighton. BRIGHTON. And the postcode BN40 4GR.
Is there anything else you need help with?
No, thank you. I understand the other questions. Thank you very much for your help.
Track 9. Section 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between a hotel receptionist and a caller making a reservation. In the exam, you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 1 to 7. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Silver Tulip Hotel, good afternoon. How can I help you?
Yes. Good afternoon. I'd like to book a room for next Friday.
Certainly, sir. How many nights will you be staying?
Just one, please.
The caller says he will be staying for just one night, so 1 is the answer here. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 7.
Silver Tulip Hotel, good afternoon. How can I help you?
Yes. Good afternoon. I'd like to book a room for next Friday.
Certainly, sir. How many nights will you be staying?
Just one, please.
And would you like a single or double room?
A double room, please.
A double room. And would you like twin beds or a king-size bed?
A king-sized bed, please.
Let me see. Yes, we do have a double room available for next Friday. Would you like me to book it for you?
Yes, please.
Could I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Edward Francis.
Is that Frances?
No, it's Francis.
Francis.
Yes, that's right.
And your home address, please, sir?
Yes, it's 23 Cypress Avenue, Cambridge.
Is that Cyprus?
No, Cypreess, like the tree.
Oh, I see. And your postcode is?
CB3 9NF.
And it's just for one night?
Yes, that's right.
We can reserve a parking space for you. Are you coming by car?
Actually, I'll be taking a taxi from the station.
That's fine. And one last question. Would you like dinner and breakfast?
No dinner, thank you. But I'd like breakfast.
Just breakfast. So, to confirm, you're arriving on Friday the 16th of April and leaving on Saturday the 17th. That's one night in a double room with a king-size bed with breakfast.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, in the exam you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 8 to 10. Track 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 8 to 10.
And could I have your mobile number, please?
Yes, it's 07976 122 577. Oh, no, sorry, it's been changed. It's 07961 121 597.
07961 121 597. Thank you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, I'm having dinner with a friend. Could you recommend a good restaurant nearby?
That would be the Winston Churchill. It's about a mile from here.
Perfect. Could you please make a reservation for 7 p.m. and leave a message with the details for my friend when he arrives?
Certainly. What is the gentleman's name?
Mr. Alaoui. That's Alaoui.
No problem. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
That is the end of section 1. In the exam, you will have half a minute to check your answers. Track 11.
Here are the ingredients for our special apple cake. You need 500 grams, that's half a kilo of apples. 250 grams of sugar, that's a quarter of a kilo. And 330 grams, or a third of a kilo, of flour. You also need 200 grams of butter. That's 1/5 of a kilo of butter. And finally, the milk. You need 1/5 of a litre of milk, or, if you prefer, that's 200 millilitres.
Track 12.
Okay, everyone, could you all pay attention now? Tomorrow, we're going to make a popular Caribbean dish, chicken and rice. Recipes vary from country to country, but for the moment, I'm going to give you the list of ingredients for the basic recipe and leave you to add the flavours and spices to your own taste. Right, are you ready to write this down? Okay, first of all, you need a chicken that weighs about 2 kilos. Then, for 4 people, you'll need 750 grams of uncooked rice. Okay, for the sauce, you want 1/2 kilo of onions. And tomatoes, you'll need 450 grams of tomatoes. And what else? Oh yes, and green peppers. You want 1/4 kilo of green peppers. And finally, 50 millilitres of cooking oil. Have you all got that? Good. See you tomorrow then. Don't forget to bring your favourite spices.
Track 13. Hi, and welcome to Campus Cook-In, our daily TV programme for students who want a bit of variety in their meals. Are you bored with cereal for breakfast? Well, today we're going to tell you how to make pancakes. They're cheap and quick and very easy to make. You only need flour, milk, sugar, salt, oil, and an egg. The full recipe's on the university website. Just follow the link. So, here we go. Before you start, it's important to have the exact quantities, otherwise your pancakes won't cook properly. So please, first, make sure you weigh everything carefully. Everyone ready? Okay. Start by putting the flour, salt and sugar into a large bowl. Next, you whisk the egg, milk and oil in another bowl. Then, slowly add the liquid ingredients to the flour mixture, mixing well until it has a smooth, thick consistency. Make sure you stir all the time. Okay. Now we're ready to cook our pancakes. We start by heating the frying pan and greasing it lightly with a little butter. When the butter's melted, we pour a large spoonful of the pancake mixture into the pan and cook it until the edges are brown. At this point, flip the pancake over and cook for a minute or so longer. Finally, put the pancake on a plate and cover it up to keep it warm while you make the next one. When all your pancakes are ready, you can serve them up with syrup or sugar and lemon, or even fruit. Delicious. Happy eating. Track 14.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to make apple and blackberry crumble, so I hope you've all bought your ingredients. Ready? Now, let's get straight on with cooking. First, you peel the apples and cut them into slices. Okay? Don't forget to take the middle out of the apple. Now, put the sliced apples in a pan and cook them with some of the sugar. In about 10 minutes, they should be nice and soft. Right? Now, mix the blackberries and apple together. Make sure that you have about half and half. Put them into the bottom of a baking dish. That's fine. Now, the next thing to do is rub the flour and butter together with your fingers until it's in tiny pieces, like breadcrumbs. Then add the sugar. When it's ready, put the crumble mixture on top of the fruit and bake it all in the oven for 30 minutes.
Track 15.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the university. I hope you're settling in and beginning to find your way around. I know a lot of students find it hard to adapt to the food, so I thought I'd tell you about a couple of popular English meals that you might hear about. Well, actually, you might have heard of the first one already. It's really popular. It's fish and chips. Fish and chips are fried in deep fat, so it's actually very greasy and not at all healthy. But it's still very popular, especially on a Friday night. That's when a lot of people get their fish and chips from the fish and chip shop and take them home to eat. Another traditional meal, which is definitely healthier, is Sunday lunch. In England, Sunday lunch is usually some kind of roast meat with vegetables. Traditionally, families have their Sunday lunch at home, but these days, quite a lot of families have Sunday lunch in a restaurant.
Track 16. Section 2. You will hear part of an introductory talk on nutrition. In the exam, you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 1 to 4. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
Good afternoon. Many people in the Western world eat the wrong food, and they eat far too much of it. So the topic of my lecture today is healthy eating. I'll divide my talk into 3 parts. Firstly, I'm going to define what I mean by healthy eating. After that, I'll go on to talk about why people don't eat properly, and then I'll finish my lecture with some ideas for improving the situation. Right. So, what do I mean by healthy eating? Well, some people might think it means eating a lot of meat. Of course, vegetarians wouldn't agree with this. They think eating meat is very unhealthy. Other people think that eating a lot of cabbage is good for you, or a lot of salad. Well, naturally, cabbage, salad and meat can all be part of healthy eating. But for me, healthy eating means 2 things. One is eating a balanced diet, and the other is eating the right amount of food. In my opinion, a balanced diet means eating a variety of foods, including meat, vegetables, fruit, cereals, and dairy foods. Obviously, the amount of food we should eat is more difficult to decide. It depends a lot on how active we are.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, in the exam you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 5 to 7. Track 17. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 7.
Now on to my next point. Why do so many people eat badly? Well, let's look first at having a balanced diet. To have a balanced diet, you have to plan your meals in advance and then buy the right food. And then take time to cook it properly. But these days people are so busy working that they don't have time to go shopping, so they end up buying fast food at the last minute. Another reason people don't eat well nowadays is that it's actually cheaper to buy food already prepared in a packet. So people who haven't got much money will buy packet food rather than cook something fresh. And a final reason why people don't eat healthily is that they don't know how to. In my opinion, schools don't do nearly enough to educate their pupils in healthy eating habits.
In the exam, you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 8 to 10. Track 18. Now listen and answer questions 8 to 10.
And now to my third and last point. What can we do to solve the problem? Well, I think it can be solved by three main groups: families, schools, and the government. To start with, parents should make sure their children have a healthy diet. Secondly, a lot of schools have self-service machines where their pupils can buy soft drinks, crisps, sweets, and chocolates. I think schools should change what they sell in these machines. Another thing schools can do is make sure that the food they serve in their canteens is fresh and well-balanced. And to finish, I'll briefly mention two of the measures I think the government should take to encourage healthy eating. One is to limit advertising unhealthy food, and the other is to spend more money on educating the public about the benefits of a healthy diet. In my next lecture, I'll go into more detail about them.
That is the end of section 2. In the exam, you will have half a minute to check your answers. Track 19. 1. Introduce. Introduction. 2. Presentation. Present. Present. 3. Suggest. Suggestion. 4. Project. Project. Projector. 5. Inform. Information. 6. Explain. Explanation. Track 20. So, who's going to do the introduction?
Well, I suggest you present the first part, Farouk. You've done a lot of work on this project after all.
Well, okay, I'll start. But you've got a lot of information too. I think you should explain the next 2 slides. Track 21.
Okay, everyone. The first thing we have to decide is our topic. I mean, what exactly are we going to talk about? We know the course is art history, and the subject is Italian painting, but that's still too big. We have to choose a particular topic. What do you think, Mandy?
I think we should concentrate on a single painter.
But on the other hand, if we discuss more than one artist, it'll be easier to make comparisons and show the differences between them.
That's a good idea, Edward. It'll give us more to discuss.
Right. So the next thing is to decide which artists to look at. I think we should definitely include Michelangelo. You know, he painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome. He's very famous. And what about Leonardo da Vinci? They were both great painters. What do you think, Beth?
They're okay, I suppose. But don't you think everyone else will choose them? How about Botticelli? His painting is very different from the other two.
I agree with Beth. Why don't we have Michelangelo and Botticelli?
I'm happy with that. Everyone else okay with it?
Track 22.
Right, guys. Let's have a look at what we're going to put in the slides. The first slide's going to be the introduction, isn't it? So I guess it should have a title. How about Michelangelo and Botticelli? A comparison.
Yeah. So we've got the title. Don't you think we should make a list of bullet points for each of the slides in the presentation?
Oh yes, definitely. How many slides do we have to do?
Well, the presentation's 10 minutes long, so we should probably have a maximum of 6 slides. Remember that Beth's already got 2 slides about Botticelli.
Well, why don't we do 2 slides each? That'd be 8, including the introduction and the conclusion.
That sounds fair enough. Let's do that. So, who's going to do the rest of the slides?
I can start off with the introduction, and then I could do the conclusion and the summary at the end. What do you think?
Great! I'd like to talk about Michelangelo's paintings. I've done quite a lot of reading about them.
Fine. So I could do a couple of slides showing how Michelangelo and Botticelli are similar and how they're different.
Track 23.
We want the presentation to look as if it's been made by a team, don't we, Edward? I think we should have one design for all the slides. Do you agree?
Oh yes, of course. We don't want a different color for each slide. Shall we design a slide now for the rest of the group to use?
Yes, let's do that. Let's have a look. This slide has the program icon on the title box. Shall we keep it there?
No, I don't think so. It hasn't got anything to do with the presentation. Let's take that off.
Fine. And I think we should keep the blue bullet points. They match the light blue title box. What do you think about putting images in each slide?
Oh, absolutely. I think we should put at least one image in each slide.
Good. We're agreed then. Let's send this slide to the others, shall we?
Track 24. Okay, everyone. I've put all our slides together so we can see if we're happy with the presentation. I think we need to check that we all agree with the order. There's nothing to decide about my slides, the introduction and the conclusion. Obviously, one of my slides goes at the beginning and the other one at the end. Edward's slides, comparing the two artists, will have to go after Beth's and Mandy's. What we need to decide is which artist should go first, Michelangelo or Botticelli.
Well, Michelangelo is more famous than Botticelli, isn't he? I mean, everyone's heard of him. Maybe he should go first. What do you think, Beth?
I'm not sure that just being famous is a good reason to put him first.
Okay, so isn't it sensible to put the artist who was born earlier first? Who was that? When was Michelangelo born?
In 1475.
And Botticelli?
In 1445.
So let's put Botticelli first and follow with Michelangelo.
Track 25. Section 3. You will hear 3 students talking to their tutor about the presentation they are planning. First, in the exam, you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 1 to 4. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4. Good morning, everyone. So, you're going to tell me about your presentation. First of all, what's your topic? Did you say you were going to talk about the uses of mobile phones?
Not exactly. We're actually going to explain the dangers of using mobile phones.
Ah, okay. That sounds interesting. What are you going to discuss exactly?
Well, we've planned to divide the presentation into 3 sections. We'll have an introduction explaining why we think it's important to understand the dangers of mobiles. Then, on the second slide, we'll have a list of the different types of danger. And then on the last slide, we're going to suggest ways of staying out of danger when you use a mobile.
Yes, we want to start by telling the audience that using a mobile phone can be dangerous and then go into more detail in the next part.
Okay. But before you talk about the dangers of mobiles, I think you should mention the advantages. You could put that in your introduction. It balances up the argument a bit.
Oh, yes. I see what you mean. Right, we'll do that.
Before you hear the next part of the conversation, In the exam, you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 5 to 7. Track 26. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 7. So, shall we have a look at your presentation? Did you bring it with you?
I've got it here on a memory stick. Can we show you on your computer?
Yes, that's fine. Let's have a look. Right. As you say, you're going to add the advantages of using mobile phones to the first slide. Good. Who's going to explain the second slide with all the dangers?
That's me. Do you think I've got enough detail?
Yes. I think there's plenty of information, but I think it's all a bit mixed up at the moment. I mean, you've got dangers like getting headaches in the same list as having car accidents and being robbed in the street. They're all different types of danger, aren't they? I think you should divide them into groups, maybe under separate titles like health, accidents, and security.
Oh, right. Yes, thank you. That'll make it much clearer to the audience. Okay.
Now, in the third slide, you can put your suggestions for staying away from each of these dangers under separate titles. Before you hear the rest of the conversation, in the exam you will have 20 seconds to look at questions 8 to 10. Track 27. Now listen and answer questions 8 to 10. Have you got any other questions?
Yes. The presentation should be for 10 minutes. Is that right?
Yes, but 10 minutes in total, including 3 minutes for questions. So you'll only talk for 7 minutes.
That's only 2 minutes each. We won't be able to say much in that time at all.
That's why you have to plan what you're going to say carefully and make sure you only include the most important information. For instance, you won't have time to give examples, but you could put some images on your slides that show examples without spending time talking about them.
Hey, that's a good idea. And the audience can look at them while we talk.
And another thing, make sure all the slides have the same style. You should get together and agree on one style for the whole presentation.
OK, we'll do that too. Thanks a lot for your help.
That is the end of section 3. In the exam, you will have half a minute to check your answers. Track 28. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Track 29. 1.
The first thing we have to decide is our topic.
2.
So that's fixed then.
3.
I think we should keep the blue bullet points.
4.
I've put all our slides together.
5.
So let's put Botticelli first and follow with Michelangelo.
6.
Make sure all the slides have the same style.